Hey y'all, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening to you. Come on in, go ahead and tag, share, and invite somebody. Go ahead and tag, share, and invite someone. Good evening, good evening. I won't be before you long on this evening. Let's just have a few words of encouragement for you on this evening. A few words of encouragement for you on this evening. I'm in my bit of a season of where I've been for a few weeks, almost 2 months really. A season of rest, relaxation, taking time out for me, the Lord, reevaluating some things, reassessing some things. Um, and so it seems like I'm trying to come down with a little cold. Not per se a cold, but my allergies that I'm trying to act up. Although been delivered for them things, and I will rebuke even trying to come back as no. But good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and begin because I will not be before you long on this evening. So those of you that are new to Wisdom Wednesday, welcome to you. For those of you who join me every Wednesday, or every time Wisdom Wednesday airs, I appreciate you. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for your words of encouragement. I thank you for your support. Believe me, it does not go unnoticed. Even those of you who may go after to review the replay, some of you who I may not know that are watching, I appreciate you, because believe me, they are people. When you do things, they may not say anything to you, but they are watching. I'm thankful that Wisdom Wednesdays, these small segments, have touched a lot of people. I'm thankful for the testimonies that have came through Wisdom Wednesday. I'm just grateful to be able to be a voice in this season, to bring words of encouragement, words of instruction, words of correction, sometimes words of warning. And I don't take it lightly. The platform that I do have the opportunity to utilize. And so many of you I don't know that may come on and support, and I often said, like I said, words of encouragement yourself that bless me, and your testimonies and your seeds. I do a lot of things out of renovating lives. I have that's attached to this is Renovating Lives Ministry. And so I do a lot of things to help the lives of others. And just like my mission is, my motto is building lives one piece at a time. Listen, many of us have been broken and have pieces that need to be rebuilt and put back together. And so I don't take it lightly of the task, my assignment that I get to do, and my purpose. And so again, I thank you for joining tonight. It will be something like I said, I won't be before you long, but I do want to talk tonight about imposter syndrome. About imposter syndrome. We have a lot of individuals that may have at one point in time suffered from this particular syndrome, or who may be suffering through it now. Do know that you're not your circumstance, you're not your situation, you're not even that you think that's contrary to outside of what the Lord has said. And so I want to dive deeply in what this syndrome can look like, because in order for you to move in your purpose, in order for you to get to your next, in order for you to cast down and do away with all the things that you think that has been spoken over your life that the enemy wants you to believe, in order for you to move in your complete purpose and to be free and delivered, you got to understand who you are and who you are not. You got to truly believe what the word of God says. You got to renew your mind daily. You got to cast down wicked imaginations and things that are not of God, especially when it concerns you. Many individuals tend to remain in a situation, remain in circumstances, remain defeated, remain not delivered, remain unhealed because of things that are associated with this imposter syndrome, or with things that have been tied to us for years. But let me tell you what an imposter syndrome, what this is. Imposter syndrome is the condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally, despite high performing in certain areas that are externally. Inside, you feel different. You feel lack. You feel you're not enough. You feel like you don't belong. You feel, however, it's the condition often results in people feeling like a fraud or a phony and doubting your own abilities. So, although on the outside you may be producing and it may be looking like this, that, and the other, you have the thing on the inside that's causing you to feel like a fraud, to feel like you incapable, to feel like that you're a phony or doubting your own abilities. With this particular syndrome, people don't feel competent, they don't feel confident. No matter what you do, no matter what people say, no matter what you are able to achieve, you don't think you're good enough. You don't feel confident. You don't think you're competent enough. However, internally, but on the outside, you faking it. You understand? You're portraying as though you are. But let me tell you something. It's important that you get rid of that. It's important that you get rid of that syndrome. Okay. It can cause individuals to feel like you're running out of time. Why is that? Because you oftentimes are comparing yourself with other individuals. And so although it may be that you're doing things and you're excelling at things internally, you're just fake and you're not confident, or you still don't feel competent. Although on the outside it looks as though that you were doing great things. I'm sorry, I'm looking at some of the things I have down here, because what I want to do is make sure that this syndrome you have to get rid of, because it can attach itself to you and you not even know it, and it causes you to be stagnant. It causes you to be fake. It causes you to be phony. But on the inside, you're dying inside. On the inside, you're comparing yourself to the next person. On the inside, you're feeling that you have not accomplished enough and there's still for more of you to do, but you're faking. Okay. What causes this particular syndrome? It's a cognitive distortion. Anything that happens cognitively happens in your mind. So it's a mind distortion. And it causes you to doubt your own skills and accomplishments. Why? Because you're comparing yourself with everybody else and what's going on around you, and not understanding that you too have your own purpose. You too have a time to reach that destination, but you got to put actions. You want to be successful. I shared a post today on my social media. In order to be successful, you have to put success causes comes with action. So you have to put actions with that desire to want to be successful. But it's a cognitive distortion. It causes individuals to doubt who they are, their skills, and their abilities. Even they become doubtful of the track record, doubtful of what other individuals say about them. So let me go and tell you how some of the characteristics, or some of how individuals have imposter syndromes. Okay, it comes from different factors to include the family environment, growing up, family familiar factors, social pressures, what circles and connections, and who they are, who you are maybe connected to, how why when it comes to those social pressures, it is um feeling like that you don't belong, or feeling like your approval or acceptance seems more connected than your achievement. So, social pressures, being part of a social circle or group where approval or your self worth seems to be connected to your achievement. Well, what do you mean, Dr. P? Meaning, okay, how my social pressures, trying to be this, trying to act like I'm bigger than what I am, trying to connect with folks and be in circles that that really I'm not even supposed to be in. But those social pressures come to where you're trying to be connected and have a sense of belonging, in that it is explicitly connected to the achievement. So you're in this circle, but you're not achieving what your other people that's in this particular circle may be. So you have that syndrome, that cognitive distortion, that you don't add up, that you don't belong, because you're not achieving it the same way that someone else is. Having a sense of belonging, part of this syndrome is the fear of being found out and cast out, because you want to be a part of these connections, and you want to feel a sense of belonging. But if these people find out that you're not who you say you are, you don't have all this money like you say you have, or the connections that you say that you have, or the influence, or whatever the case may be. So if they find you out, they're going to exclude you. They're not going to want to deal with you if you don't talk like this. They're not going to deal with you if you're not from this socioeconomic status. So having a sense of belonging and trying to be, talk like and act like you credentialed like other individuals, or act like you're so religious just so you can fit in, can cause you to have imposter syndrome. Why? Because listen, you're phony, you're a fraud, you're doing all of these things so that you can fit in the circle, so that you can fit, have a sense of belonging in these social groups that has you feeling indifferent. You going all out of your way trying to fit in, not understanding that you were fearfully and wonderfully made. You don't have to do and try to force people to be, to like you, and to engage in conversation with you, or want to connect with you, or you know have you to be in their circle, and you have to act a certain way or do a certain thing. There's a lot of imposters that are trying to be and act outside of who they were made to be. And as long as you continue to do that, that's going to be a handicap for you. You got to know and believe who you are. You got to be comfortable and competent and have confidence in who God has made you to be, so that you won't have this imposter season. So you won't try to get in groups that you're not even supposed to be in, or make these connections you're not supposed to feel in, but you want to feel adequate. And no matter what achievements you make, if you're looking and comparing yourself to someone else, you're never going to feel adequate. So it's going to cause you to feel like an imposter. And you will notice that even if you achieve those things, you're still going to have a void. Why? Because you're acting outside of what God has created for you to be. So it's important that you get rid of that imposter syndrome. Personality is a factor that causes imposter syndrome. Some personality types are more linked to feeling pressure when it comes to doubt and failure and all of those different things. Times of stress, transition, even stuff that's unrelated to work or related to family things can make it even worse. Let me tell you the characteristics of an imposter syndrome: self doubt, undervaluing contribution, undervaluing yourself and what you have to offer, attributing success to external factors. So you attribute being successful to the things that happen on the outside. It's nothing it's internal, sabotaging self success. You just can be, you sabotage everything that you put your hands to. You self sabotage, you speak negatively. Nothing that you do, if it's not on a big realm, you consider it to be success. Setting unrealistic expectations, setting expectations outside of your means. Continuous fear of not living up to those expectations. Listen, that's a thing right there. Because sometimes we're fearful of, because we set these high expectations. You put yourself in these goals and you put them, and they're unrealistic. So if you don't meet them, you're fearful. You go, you burn out. You're trying to do all of this and that. You're not being productive. You're just busy. However, you've been a fraud. You've been phony. Why? Because you've set these unrealistic goals, but you're trying to fit in. You're trying to have a sense of belonging. You don't feel confident, but you're going through these phases because you're trying to mask different things that you need to get rid of. Being somebody that you know that you're not. So self-doubt, a lack of self-worth and self-efficacy. And this results in a lot of anxiety regarding your ability to succeed, undervaluing contributions. You undermine your own worth of your achievements. You think you're incompetent. You do all of that. Although people, oh, you're doing so good. You don't believe that internally. Imposter syndrome. Attributing success to external factors, like I said before, causes you to credit other things and situational factors and different things for your achievement. So your team, or you got friends and different people that say, oh, you did a good job and you got a raise, promotion, you going up the level, you close on a house and all those things. But you say, oh, well, that's because I got good luck. Oh, it's just a coincidence. Oh, it's just because of this, that, and the other. That's imposter syndrome. You don't give yourself credit. You don't give yourself credit, not like you used to. Self-sabotaging your success. Um, it forces, like I said, you to feel inadequate. So you go and make risky, poor decisions because you feel like you can't live up to what you think, or it's too much. And so you start making risky decisions and poor decisions because of self-sabotaging your own success, telling yourself you can't do it, feeling like um feeling like whatever you contribute or you do, or your help with people, it's not good enough, it's sloppy, it's not, who's gonna want me to do this and that, who's gonna try to connect with me, who's going to, even when it comes to love, you sabotage, you devalue yourself. You don't have any expectations of how to be treated or different things. You just allow people to treat you and do you any type of way. Self-sabotaging. Think you're unworthy, you're not valued. You gotta get rid of those things. You gotta get rid of those things. Burn out. You pushed yourself over and over. Your energy, you should be so tired because what you're trying to do is do so much, but then you lose the passion for what you do. I say wanted to come and talk about this imposter syndrome, because there are a lot of individuals that are dealing with this at this point in time. And it's important that you take a step back and assess some things when it comes to this. You are more than enough. You can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. You got to stop telling yourself, no matter what achievements and different things, you still find ways to downplay. You still find ways to allow people to treat you any kind of way because of things that may have been told to you, your previous situations. And so you accept less. You try to fit in groups where you're faking, you're phone, you're not even yourself. You're trying to have a sense of belonging, knowing you shouldn't even be connected to those groups. You're trying to live up to what other people think instead of what God has told you to do and what He has told you to be. I'm gonna tell you some things that you can do to assist you with dealing with this syndrome. Stop, breathe, notice, reflect, and respond. Stop. Allow yourself to stop in your tracks and take a moment to pause. Breathe. Give yourself a deep breath and let your thoughts go and not be attached to your thoughts. Notice your feelings in your body, your surroundings, your situation, how you react to stuff, and any other thing that you can notice. Reassess the situation. Reassess what is going on. Reassess the things that your thoughts. Reassess the things you have been saying. Reassess why you even felt the need to fall in the particular imposter syndrome in the first place. Respond with intentionality. Respond well. 10 tips with dealing with the imposter syndrome. Understand the voice. Understand who you are. Speak positive to yourself. Speak positive. Refocus on your values. Remind yourself of what really matters to you. Don't focus on the outside of success. Focus on the inside. Focus on the values. Reframe around your growth. You have to grow. You can't grow and learn and change without stretching yourself. Things gonna happen. There will be some bumps in the road. You're gonna fall, but you definitely need to get back up. Don't take it as you gotta try to be like someone else and do things like someone else is doing, because God has created you to be how He wanted you to be. Get out of your own head. Change your thoughts. Write down things that you may be fearful of, things that you may not want to tell anybody. Find someone to talk to that you trust, because you can't talk and tell things to any and everybody. Learn to have self-compassion. Learn to give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up. Don't discount yourself. Don't feel like that you're not adequate enough to do and to be all that He's called you to do and to be. Be kind to yourself. As a compassion as you may be to others, you need that same compassion for yourself. Don't always think that failing is bad. I always say there's not a successful person that didn't fall multiple times, but they didn't stay down. They got back up. A lot of times, having the imposter syndrome, people consider failing to be something that's bad, when actually look at it, assess the test, assess the lesson, and you keep going until you get it right. You may have had bad relationships, whether business or personal, you know, whether business or personal, and you learn from those things, and you learn and you assess and you move forward and do better. Be mindful of what's going on. Reevaluate. Use techniques that you need in order for you to positively think positive about yourself so that you can know who you are and not feel like that you have to act like or be like someone else. I will say this, that it's important that we get rid of imposter syndrome. You can only be who God has called you to be. You can only do what He has called you to do. Stop feeling like you have to do all these big things and all to have a self-worth. Be connected to all these people who own social media, who got all the friends and all the likes and all those different things, just for you to have a sense of belonging and be somebody. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to step in other people's lanes. Stop trying to do things ahead of time and just stay your course. Be confident in who you are. Don't be a phony. Don't be a fake. You can be competent in what He's called you to be. The only time you're going to be incompetent if you're going in lanes and in areas where you're not supposed to be, but yet you're trying to match up to other people. I don't care what you try to do. If you try to do what somebody else is doing and God ain't tell you to do it, you're going to always feel incompetent. I don't care if God is not, there's a lot of people that's in school now, they're pursuing all of these different degrees and certifications. If God didn't tell you to do those things, even when you get the achievement, you graduate, whatever, you're going to still have a void. You're going to still feel like an imposter. Internally is where it starts. Heal from the inside first. Heal from the inside first. Heal from the inside first. So you won't spend no more years and no more time, being an imposter in situations, being an imposter with your thoughts and how you feel. Because if you don't, you're going to take much longer, if any time, to reach your goal, to reach your purpose, to do what God has called you to do. So get rid of the imposter syndrome and be you. Do you. Be unique. That's all that you can be able to do, and do it wholeheartedly. I hope that I've said something on this evening that has encouraged you, that has made you think like, you know what? In this season, it's important that you focus on, like you focus on other things, focus on yourself. There's some things that God is trying to do. He's trying to remake, reassess. He's trying to do some things to get us to different levels. But you have to take a self-evaluation first. And you got to do away with the imposter. Be you, all of you. Cut no corners. But don't be phony. Don't be fake. Don't try to fit in. Don't act like you okay and you know you're not. Stop being fearful of things. And just go and be all that you can be in Him. God bless you. And until next time on Wisdom Wednesday, I will see you next time. I think next week. I know there's a few Wednesdays coming up that are in question, but God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Be blessed, be encouraged.